But what if I told you that wealth has nothing to do with money? That's right. Money is just the effect. The real cause? It's your mind. It's your beliefs. It's the invisible script running in the background, shaping every decision you make. Most people don't fail because of circumstances. They fail because of the way they think. They want wealth, but deep down, they don't believe they deserve it. They dream of success, but their habits betray them. And until they change what's happening inside, nothing will change outside. So let me ask you, what is your mind telling you about wealth? Is it lifting you up or pulling you down? Because tonight, we're going to rewrite that script. We're going to break the chains of old thinking and replace them with the beliefs and behaviors that lead to real, lasting success. And once you see the truth, you can never go back. Your wealth begins with your philosophy. Wealth doesn't begin in your bank account. It begins in your mind. It starts with the way you think about money, about success, about opportunity. Some people grow up believing that money is evil, that success is reserved for the lucky few, that opportunities are scarce. And do you know what happens? They live out that philosophy. They push wealth away without even realizing it. But then there are those who believe something different. They believe money is a tool, not a curse. They believe success is available to anyone who is willing to do what it takes. They believe opportunities are everywhere, waiting to be seized. And those are the people who go on to build wealth, not because they were born with some special advantage, but because they had the right philosophy. I remember when I was just starting out, I was broke. And not just financially, mentally too. My philosophy was all wrong. I used to say, I can't afford it. My mentor told me, don't say that. Say, how can I afford it? He was teaching me something powerful. The way you talk about money shapes the way you think about it. And the way you think about it determines what you do with it. If you believe money is something that only flows to other people, then you'll never chase it with confidence. If you believe success is impossible for you, you won't take the steps necessary to achieve it. That's why the first thing you have to do is change your philosophy. Wealth is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by becoming the right kind of person. You don't get rich by chance. You get rich by change. People often ask, what's the secret to wealth? Here it is. Your mind is like a factory. If you produce negative thoughts about money, you'll create negative results. But if you start feeding your mind with wealth-building principles, you'll start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. Think about the people who win the lottery. They get a sudden rush of money, but because their philosophy about wealth hasn't changed, they lose it just as fast. Why? Because wealth isn't about how much money you have. It's about how much money you can keep, grow, and use wisely. And that all starts with how you think. So here's the challenge. Audit your beliefs about money. Are they helping you or hurting you? If they're holding you back, it's time to change them. Because when you change your philosophy, you change your results. Be willing to pay the price for wealth. There's a price for everything in life, and wealth is no exception. The difference between those who build wealth and those who don't isn't luck. It's willingness. The willingness to do what's necessary. The willingness to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term success. The willingness to stay consistent when others quit. Wealth doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time, through discipline, through effort, through decisions that most people aren't willing to make. That's why most people stay broke. They want the reward, but they don't want the responsibility. They want the success, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want to live like the wealthy, but they don't want to work like the wealthy. I once asked a wealthy man what the secret to success was. He smiled and said, work twice as hard today as you did yesterday, and don't stop for 10 years. That wasn't the answer I wanted, but it was the answer I needed. The truth is, wealth isn't about working harder for a week or a month. It's about staying committed for the long haul. Discipline is part of the price. Can you discipline yourself to invest instead of spend? Can you discipline yourself to wake up early, to study, to improve your skills, to build something of value? Wealthy people don't waste their time. They invest it. They don't waste their money. They multiply it. Sacrifice is part of the price. Are you willing to live differently today so you can live differently tomorrow? Most people aren't. Then further, they waste wealth never finds them. Instead of opportunities, they chase with manifestation instead of lasting success. And then they wonder why wealth never finds them. Consistency is part of the price. You don't get wealthy by doing the right thing once. You get wealthy by doing the right thing over and over again. The wealthy understand that small disciplines repeated over time lead to massive success. It's not one big action that changes your life. It's a series of small actions stacked together that lead to transformation. So ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to be disciplined with your money? Are you willing to sacrifice temporary pleasure for lasting wealth? Are you willing to stay consistent even when the results don't show up right away? Because here's the truth. Wealth is available to those who are willing. But if you're waiting for it to come easy, you'll be waiting forever. Developing wealth isn't about luck, it's about strategy. It's about positioning yourself so that money isn't just something you earn, it's something that flows to you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is relying on a single source of income. They put all their financial security into one paycheck, one business, one opportunity. And that's dangerous. Because when that one source dries up, so does everything else. The wealthy don't think that way. They understand that financial security comes from having multiple streams of income. Imagine a farmer who plants only one crop. If a storm wipes it out, he has nothing left. But if he has 5 different crops growing in different fields, he's protected. That's how wealth works. You need more than one financial field producing for you. That could mean a business, investments, rental properties, dividends, or even royalties from something you create. The key is not to rely on just one stream, but to build several, so that if one slows down, the others keep flowing. Some people say, I don't have time to build multiple incomes, but that's not true. It's not about time, it's about priority. If you start with one extra stream, even if it's small, you're already ahead of most people. Maybe it's setting aside money for investments. Maybe it's starting a side business in the evenings. Maybe it's learning a skill that will pay you in different ways. The wealthy look for ways to create money, not just earn it. There was a time when I relied on just one source of income, and when it disappeared, I realized I had been playing a risky game. I made a decision that day. I would never depend on just one stream again. I started small, investing, creating, building, and over time, those streams grew. Some were big, some were small, but together they created financial security. That's the power of multiple streams. When one dries up, the others keep flowing. The real secret is not just having different incomes, but making sure some of them are passive, because real wealth is about getting paid whether you work or not. The wealthy don't just trade time for money. They build assets that pay them long after the work is done. And that brings us to another key to wealth, your value. Money doesn't just go to those who want it. It goes to those who deserve it. It follows value. If you want to earn more, you have to become more. The marketplace doesn't pay for wishes. It pays for skills, knowledge, and contribution. The more value you bring, the more wealth you attract. Too many people want wealth without growth. They want higher income without improving their skills. But the marketplace is fair. It rewards those who increase their value. If you want to earn more, you have to ask yourself, how valuable am I? What skills do I have? How much do I contribute? Because the truth is, no one gets paid for time alone. 2 people can work the same number of hours, but one earns 10 times more. Why? Because one has made himself more valuable. Early in my career, I wasn't valuable. I was just another person looking for an opportunity. And then I got advice that changed everything. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, because when you improve, everything else improves. If you become twice as valuable, you'll earn twice as much. If you develop a skill that the marketplace needs, you'll never struggle financially. Think about the people who are irreplaceable in their industries. They've developed expertise that makes them in demand. And when you're in demand, you don't have to chase money. Money chases you. So how do you increase your value? Start by learning. Read books. Study your industry. Develop a skill that sets you apart. If you're in sales, become a master at persuasion. If you're in business, learn how to lead. If you work with people, develop communication skills. If you have an idea, learn how to execute it. The more you know, the more you can offer. And the more you offer, the more you earn. Most people wait for a raise. The wealthy don't wait. They raise their value. They look for ways to be indispensable. They become problem solvers. They become leaders. They become experts. And when you do that, wealth isn't a question of if, it's a question of when. So here's the challenge. Look at your income streams. Are you relying on just one? If so, it's time to start building more. And look at your value. Are you becoming more valuable every day? If not, it's time to change that. Because the two things that will determine your wealth are how many streams you have and how much value you bring. When you get those right, financial success is no longer a possibility, it's a certainty. Wealth isn't just about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep and how well you make it grow. Some people think that if they just made more money, all their financial problems would disappear. But that's not true. It's not what you make. It's what you do with what you make. A person who earns a fortune but spends it all will always be broke. And a person who starts small but learns the habit of saving and investing can build real wealth over time. The difference isn't income, it's discipline. Most people spend first and save what's left, if anything. But the wealthy do the opposite. They pay themselves first. Before the bills, before the expenses, before anything else, they take a portion of what they earn and put it aside. Because if you don't discipline yourself to save when you have a little, you won't save when you have a lot. The habit of keeping money is more important than the amount. I remember when I first started making money. At first, I thought it was all about income. If I could just make more, I'd be fine. But then I realized something. The more I made, the more I spent. It wasn't until I learned the habit of setting money aside, no matter how much I earned, that my financial life started to change. And it's not just about saving, it's about investing. If you just save money and let it sit, it loses value over time. But when you put your money to work, it starts making money for you. Wealthy people don't just work for money, they make money work for them. They put it in investments, real estate, businesses, things that grow over time. The goal isn't just to have money sitting in a bank. The goal is to have money producing more money. Some people say, I don't have enough to invest. But that's not true. You can start small. Even a little invested consistently can turn into something big. The key is consistency, building the habit. A farmer doesn't plant one seed and expect a harvest. He plants many, and he keeps planting. That's how wealth works. You put money to work, and over time, it multiplies. But wealth isn't built in isolation. Your financial future is shaped by the people around you. If you spend time with people who don't believe in financial success, who waste money, who have no discipline, it's going to be difficult for you to break free. The people you surround yourself with will either push you up or pull you down. I've seen it happen over and over again. Someone has ambition, they have potential, but they're stuck in a circle of people who don't believe in growth. And instead of pulling themselves up, they get pulled back down. But when you surround yourself with people who think big, who are disciplined, who believe in success, something incredible happens. You start to rise. When I was young, I was fortunate enough to find mentors who had already achieved financial success. They taught me things I never would have learned on my own. They showed me how to think, how to manage money, how to create wealth. And just being around them changed the way I saw the world. If you don't have wealthy people in your life, find them. Read their books, listen to their teachings, study their habits. Success leaves clues. If you follow the right examples, you'll get the right results. And it's not just about learning, it's about making connections. Wealthy people understand the power of relationships. The right partnership, the right advice, the right opportunity can change everything. And those things come from surrounding yourself with the right people. Some people say, I don't know anyone successful, but that's not an excuse. You can learn from a distance. You can seek out people who are where you want to be. And when you grow, when you develop yourself, those relationships start to form naturally. So here's the challenge. Start building the habit of saving and investing. Even if it's small, get started. And take a look at the people around you. Are they pushing you towards success or are they holding you back? Because your financial future depends on both. When you master those two things, wealth is no longer something far away, something within your reach. Most people look at wealth and think it's about luck, timing, or even having the right connections. But when you break it down, wealth is built on something far simpler: discipline. Not just once, not just when it's convenient, but every day. The small financial choices you make, what you spend, what you save, what you invest in, those choices shape your financial future. A person doesn't suddenly wake up wealthy. It happens over time, through small, consistent actions that add up. Discipline is saying no when others say yes. It's resisting the temptation to spend every dollar you earn. It's choosing to invest in your future instead of wasting money on things that don't bring a return. Some people say it's just a little spending here and there, but a little wasted here, a little wasted there, it adds up. And before you know it, years have gone by and there's nothing to show for all that earning. I remember when I was just starting out, I had a choice: to spend like everyone else or to discipline myself. At first it wasn't easy. It's tough to save when others are spending. It's tough to say no when everyone else is saying yes. But I learned something important. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And over time, what was once difficult becomes second nature. The people who master financial discipline don't just think about today, they think about tomorrow. They don't ask, can I afford this right now? They ask, is this the best use of my money for my future? The difference in those two questions is the difference between struggling financially and building wealth. But discipline alone isn't enough. You can save every dollar, never take a single risk, and still struggle financially. Because wealth isn't just about keeping money, it's about making it grow. And that requires risk. Not reckless, blind risk, but calculated, educated risk. Some people are so afraid of losing money that they never take any steps forward. They keep their money in the safest place possible, never invest, never expand, never take a chance. And what happens? Their money stays the same, or worse, it loses value over time. Playing it too safe is the surest way to stay stuck. Wealthy people understand that risk is a necessary part of growth. But they don't gamble. They prepare. They study the opportunity. They weigh the options. They take a step forward with confidence. The difference between success and failure isn't risk, it's preparation. I remember the first time I made a major investment decision. I was nervous. What if I lost money? What if it didn't work out? But I realized something. If I stayed where I was, I'd never get ahead. So I did my homework. I studied, I learned, I got advice, and when I was ready, I took the step. And that step led to more steps and eventually to financial success. Fear keeps people from taking action. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. But perfect conditions never come. There's always risk. There's always uncertainty. The people who win are the ones who move forward anyway. And here's the truth. Failure is part of the process. No one wins every time. The most successful people have made mistakes, lost money, and failed at times, but they didn't stop. They learned, they adjusted, they kept going. So if you want to build wealth, remember this. Discipline will shape your financial destiny, and taking smart, calculated risks will open the doors to new opportunities. Without discipline, you'll waste what you earn. Without risk, you'll never grow. Master both, and financial success is no longer a dream, it's inevitable. Most people want to be wealthy, but very few are willing to think the way the wealthy think. The average person is looking for quick results, instant gratification. They want to plant a seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. But that's not how wealth works. It's a process, a journey, a series of small, smart decisions made over time. The wealthy don't think in days or weeks. They think in years, even decades. A farmer understands this principle well. He doesn't plant a seed today and expect a full harvest tomorrow. He plants, he waters, he waits. He nurtures the crop, protects it from threats, and eventually, after time and care, he reaps the rewards. But what do most people do? They plant a seed, then dig it up the next day to see if it's growing. And when they don't see immediate results, they quit. They say it's not working and they walk away. That's why so many people never see financial success. I've met people who want to be rich, but they never save, never invest, never build anything long-term. They spend every dollar they earn chasing short-term pleasures while their future remains uncertain. Then there are those who understand the power of patience, the power of consistency. They start small, but they stay committed. And over time, they build something extraordinary. Wealthy people think differently. They don't just ask, how much can I make this month? They ask, what can I build over the next 10 years? They don't just look for quick profits. They look for lasting value. They understand that small sacrifices today lead to big rewards tomorrow. But here's the key. Thinking long-term isn't just about money. It's about responsibility. If you want to be financially successful, you have to take full responsibility for your financial future. No blaming, no excuses, just responsibility. It's easy to say the economy's bad or taxes are too high or I didn't get the right opportunities. But here's the truth. Excuses don't pay the bills. Complaining doesn't create wealth. The only thing that changes your financial future is action. I remember when I was young and struggling, I had two choices. Blame my circumstances or take control of my life. No one was going to do it for me. If I wanted to be successful, I had to make different choices. I had to start thinking long-term. I had to take responsibility for my earning, my saving, my investing. And when I did, everything changed. There are two kinds of people in the world. Those who wait for things to happen and those who make things happen. The ones who wait are always at the mercy of the world around them. If the economy is bad, they suffer. If their job disappears, they struggle. They let external circumstances dictate their financial destiny. But the ones who take responsibility, they create their own future. They learn new skills, they adapt, they find ways to create value. They don't wait for a perfect economy or a lucky break. They take control. So if you want to build wealth, start thinking long-term. Plant seeds today that will grow into something great tomorrow. And most importantly, take full responsibility for your financial future, because no one else will do it for you. Most people think wealth starts in the bank account. But that's not true. It starts in the mind. The way you think about money, success, and opportunity determines whether you'll ever have financial freedom. Some people walk through life seeing nothing but problems. They see obstacles at every turn, reasons why things won't work, why they can't succeed. And because they believe it, they live it. But the wealthy think differently. They train their minds to see opportunities. They understand that every challenge carries the seed of an advantage. While others complain about the economy, the competition, or the lack of chances, the wealthy are busy looking for solutions. I once heard someone say, if only I had more money, I'd be set. But money is not the answer. The answer is developing a millionaire mindset. Because if you don't think like the wealthy, you'll never stay wealthy, even if you stumble into money. That's why so many lottery winners go broke within a few years. They received wealth, but they never developed the mindset to keep it. On the other hand, you take away all the money from a true millionaire, and they'll find a way to make it back. Why? Because they've trained their mind to see opportunities to take action to create value. The mindset of the wealthy is built on a few key principles. First, they don't think in terms of scarcity. They don't say, there's not enough money, not enough opportunities. No, they believe wealth is abundant and they look for ways to create it. Second, they understand that wealth is a result of value. The more valuable you become, the more money you attract. That's why they invest in themselves. reading books, attending seminars, learning from successful people, because they know their income will never exceed their personal growth. But here's where most people get stuck. They don't have a millionaire mindset, they have a poverty mentality, and it keeps them broke no matter how hard they work. A poverty mentality is full of limiting beliefs. Thoughts like, money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy, or I'll never be successful because of where I come from. These beliefs act like chains, holding people back from ever stepping into financial success. I remember talking to a young man who told me he hated money. He said it was the cause of all problems in the world. I asked him, how much of it do you have? He laughed and said, none. And I told him, that's the problem. You can't attract something you resent. You can't grow something you fear. Money is just a tool. It's not good or bad. It's a magnifier. It makes you more of what you already are. If you're generous, money allows you to give more. If you're selfish, money will amplify that too. The key is to see money for what it is, a tool to create freedom, to take care of your family, to build something that lasts. Wealthy individuals don't resent money, they respect it. They don't waste it, they use it wisely. They understand that money flows to those who take responsibility for it. But too many people never break free from a poverty mentality because they stay surrounded by others who think the same way. If you spend time with people who complain about money, who believe the system is rigged, who think getting rich is only for a lucky few, guess what? That mindset rubs off on you. But when you start listening to successful people, when you start learning how they think, how they make decisions, how they handle setbacks, everything changes. The truth is, there is no shortage of money in the world, only a shortage of people thinking correctly about it. If you want to build wealth, it starts by changing the way you think. Develop a millionaire mindset. See opportunities where others see obstacles. Learn from those who have built success instead of complaining about those who have. Reject a poverty mentality and embrace the idea that wealth is possible for you if you're willing to think differently and take action. Because once your mind is free, your financial future follows.